Time to stop. How do we stop? Why stop? Aside from being scared to death. How do you do TeShuva for something like this? So a few things. First and foremost, TeShuva is you have to stop immediately. You cannot continue the sin one more time. Someone starts, they don't do it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they fail. Is to make sure that you have to protect your eyes, because if you don't protect your eyes, if you keep watching movies, you keep looking at these magazines, you keep watching stupid videos on the internet, you do all of that stuff, you're bringing Gehenom into your life. There's no way to avoid it. There's no way to avoid it. You watch, you know how the Israelis call it, shotef ta'inaim. You wash your eyes with looking at other women, you're bringing Gehenom to your life. Even if you want to stop doing it yourself, it's going to happen to you at night. What you have to do is you have to start looking at the floor. You can't walk around looking at every, one of these puppets that, shakes their head. You buy at the baseball games. You have to start watching your eyes. Yeah, it died again. It's okay. The phone's recording. Let's see how long that lasts. Satan doesn't want this shiur online. Doing TeShuva for something like this, this is something that could save a lot of people. Doing TeShuva, you have to first start with watching your eyes. Second of all, you have to start practicing not touching at all. Limit it as much as you can. I know, normally, it's tough for a guy and so on. You have to do whatever you can. Whatever you can. Especially if you're single. If you're married, Baruch Hashem, you have your wife. If you're single, if there was a way to not go to the bathroom, I tell you don't go to the bathroom. Because when you're single, it's almost impossible. Third thing is, if you're single, you have to find yourself a wife. Stop being one of these losers that's 40 years old, still looking for the perfect woman. Find a wife, be a normal person, don't worry about it. You'll be, you'll develop love over time. I'm serious. There's a bunch of guys that I went to school with. They're in their 40s and 45. They're still looking for the perfect one. Where they're looking for? In clubs. No, I couldn't find the perfect one. I thought I had it. When? 20 years ago. Okay, what about now? You're 45 years old. What are you waiting for? Find a woman, settle down, get a wife. That's it. She doesn't have to be... the number one person on earth. Just find somebody, settle down, you'll develop love over time. If you guys have something in common, if you could tolerate each other, if you could have connection, you have chemistry, that's it. It doesn't have to be a Marilyn Monroe and one of these other, Brad Pitt or something. These are just normal people. Build a family, build a future. Just have something in common. That's it. It doesn't require this shidduch crisis that we have today. It's all because we can't watch our eyes. The men can't stop looking at immodest women, so they think that the tzaddikah that just came from Bet Yaakov is supposed to look like the prostitute he saw in the mall. And the woman, unfortunately, some women are very materialistic. Why? Because they watch TV, they look at these magazines, they see that all these celebrities have this and that, so the guy's chasing money so he can keep up with the girl's expectations, and they both drive each other crazy. There shouldn't be a shidduch crisis. There's plenty of men, there's plenty of women. I have every single day someone asking me if I have a shidduch for them. How could it be? There's guys that want shidduch, there's girls that want shidduch. What, you can't meet each other? What's the problem? Find yourself a wife. If it's not because of anything else, it's to stop this sin. Stop this sin. I'm telling you, it's such a horrendous sin. I had a lot of health problems. Anyone that wants to know my personal story, you can watch last night's shiur. It's online. Bezrat Hashem will be online tonight. I know suffering. One thing I understand is suffering. I had many, many years of suffering. Pain and screaming and surgeries and pills. All types of wonderful suffering. Baruch Hashem. I know what suffering is. I'm an expert in suffering. You want to know what Gehenom looks like? I could tell you. In this world, not the other one. I know what it looks like. I know what suffering is. You don't want it. You don't want suffering. It's a nightmare. You got to get yourself a wife. It's number 2. If you don't have a wife, get yourself a wife. Work on it. Work on it. Has to become, aside from learning Torah, has to become number 1. Number 3, just as the Rambam says, only type of people that waste seed, spend their time on this stuff, are people that are empty-minded. They have no chokhmah. They have nothing in their head, so they're bored to death. And boredom leads to sin, like Shlomo Melech told us. Can't be bored. Can't find yourself bored. What do you got to do? You got to go learn Torah. Stop being a batlan, doing nothing with your life. Watching sports is boredom. Watching television is boredom. You can watch TV for 9 hours and not even realize 9 hours passed. Because your neshama went to sleep. Your body is just dead. Nothing happens. It's the shell, whether the guy died or he lived, whether the team won or not, it doesn't affect your life. You're just wasting your life. You got to spend time developing your neshama, developing your brain. Ari HaKadosh here says, you want to rectify all the seed that you wasted? You have to sweat for mitzvot. Because each drop of sweat that comes out of your body due to a mitzvah is fixing one drop of seed that came out of your body. So in Simchat Torah, you should be the guy that runs around and sweats his eyes out with the Torah, celebrating for the mitzvah. You're supposed to be happy. Run around, have a good time. If it's hot in the kollel, you should study even extra. Hot in the yeshiva, study extra. Sweat doing a mitzvah. Literally sweat. Because each one of them is mamash helping you out. Most important thing is you have to learn difficult Torah. Learning nice tzipurei tzadikim, listening to a nice story, yeah, it's fine, it's good, it's not bad. But for this sin, you have to choose your suffering. There's 2 types of suffering as far as this TeShuva. It's either suffering by your choice, or suffering that's not your choice. So it's either you force yourself to learn difficult Gemara and pretty much to the point of ripping your hair out of your head and struggling at 1:30 in the morning, instead of going and get 8 hours of sleep, you only got 5 because you struggled to learn some Torah. Or Hashem's going to give you different suffering. You don't want that suffering. You have to struggle. That's what amal b'Torah is. Im bechukotai telechu. Or HaChaim, one of his 42 pirushim, says, Im bechukotai means amal b'Torah. Means difficult Torah, learn Torah. That's difficult, that's not easy. The Midrashim, it's nice. Sipurei Tzadikim is nice. Little tape here, little CD there, it's all nice. But if it's easy for you, it's not going to fix the sin. It's good for Torah, but not enough if you have the sin like pretty much every single person that's alive today.